China is building family cars that charge from 10 to 80% in 10 minutes flat, and one that lets your kids watch a ceiling-mounted cinema while you cruise the Trans-Canada. These are the top 10 Chinese family cars coming to shock the world. Stay for number 1. It completely eliminates charging time. Let's go! Number 10. The MG S5 EV. Forget everything you thought MG was. The S5 EV is all new, built on a dedicated electric platform, and it looks nothing like the brand's old-budget reputation. Aggressive bumpers, pointy LED headlights, clean, sharp proportions. It turns heads on the school run without trying to be flashy about it. Think of a Tuesday morning. You're dropping the kids at school, then heading across town for a meeting, then picking up groceries on the way back. That is 3 stops, maybe 80 kilometers, and the MG S5 EV handles all of it in total silence without you once thinking about charging. The 77 kilowatt-hour battery delivers up to 530 kilometers of range in rear-wheel drive form and around 485 kilometers with all-wheel drive. DC fast charging peaks at 144 kilowatts, which means a 10 to 80% top-up takes around 38 minutes. The dual-motor all-wheel drive version pushes 266 kilowatts, which is properly fast acceleration in something built to carry school bags and car seats every single day. Inside, you get a 12.8-inch central touchscreen, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, heated and ventilated front seats, heated rears, a panoramic roof, and an 11-speaker audio system. The rear seats give 6-foot adults real legroom, not token legroom. The boot folds nearly flat, and there is underfloor storage for cables, so the main cargo area stays clean and usable. 5-star Euro NCAP, with over 90% scores in both adult and child protection. This is the most capable MG has ever been, and for Canadian families watching the budget without wanting to feel it, the S5 makes a quietly devastating case. But number 9 went further and actually won a Car of the Year award while doing it. Number 9. The Chery Tiggo 8. A Chinese SUV just won the 2026 CarWow Car of the Year. Not in some niche category. Overall, the Chery Tiggo 8 beat cars from brands Canadians have trusted for decades, and it did it by being the most complete family package at its price point. Full stop. Think about a Friday afternoon pickup. You have got 5 people, weekend bags, hockey gear, and a dog. Most 7-seaters in this price bracket make you choose between luggage and the third row. The Tiggo 8 does not make you choose. 7 proper seats, 700 liters of boot space with the last row folded, enormous door bins that swallow water bottles without drama, and a center console loaded with storage and a wireless charging pad. Adults in rows 2 and 3 sit comfortably on long drives. Even teenagers in the very back are not punished for being back there. The plug-in hybrid is the version you want. It is smooth, refined, and gives you 56 miles of pure electric range, which covers the school run, the grocery haul, and the after-school sports pickup without using a single drop of fuel. On weekends, when you push further, the engine joins in seamlessly, and fuel economy stays completely sensible. The material quality inside is genuinely high for the price, with soft touch surfaces and leatherette throughout. It does not feel like a budget decision inside this car. It feels like a smart one. Nothing else at this price ticks every family box the way the Tiggo 8 does. Number 8 is going to tick a completely different box, the one labeled fastest charging car most families have ever sat in. Number 8. The MG IM6. MG looked at the EV charging conversation and decided to end it. The IM6 is a sleek, long-range electric SUV with one of the fastest charging rates of any car you can buy right now. And it wraps all of that in a design confident enough to park outside a 5-star hotel without anyone laughing. Imagine your family doing a summer road trip from Toronto to Montreal. You stop once, everyone stretches, someone grabs a coffee, the kids run around for 10 minutes, and the IM6 is ready to go again. That is the rhythm this car enables. Long range up to 388 miles and DC fast charging that makes multi-city drives feel like a completely normal thing to attempt in an EV. Sharp front end, those distinctive propeller-style wheels that people actually stop to look at, and a cabin that wraps around the driver with heavily padded door cards and a high center console giving it a proper cockpit feel. Second row space is generous. Headroom is not an issue even for taller family members, and the 665-liter boot handles serious family cargo on long trips without any packing strategy required. The IM6 exists to prove that Chinese EVs are not chasing the competition anymore. They are setting the pace on the charging curve. Number 7 runs on an 800-volt platform that makes even the IM6 look like it is taking its time. Number 7, the Zeekr 7X. 10 minutes. 10 minutes to go from 10 to 80% on a capable DC charger. That is less time than a gas station stop with 2 kids who both suddenly need the bathroom the moment you pull in. That number alone earns this car a spot on this list. But the Zeekr 7X is not a one-trick car. Not even close. The 800-volt platform is the foundation. WLTP range stretches to up to 605 kilometers. Dual motor versions push into the high 400 kilowatt range. So on the highway on drive from Calgary to Banff, this thing moves with the kind of effortless authority that makes you forget what you are driving. The body is 4.83 meters long with a wheelbase close to 2.93 meters, which tells you everything about where the priority is. Interior space and family comfort first. There are 36 separate storage compartments across the cabin. Think about what a family actually accumulates on a road trip. Water bottles, snacks, tablets, charging cables, toys, sunglasses for 4 different people. And suddenly, 36 storage spots makes complete sense. The boot expands to nearly 1,980 liters with the rear seats folded flat. That is camping gear territory. The 36-inch augmented reality head-up display stretches almost the full dashboard width. The 16-inch touchscreen is sharp and fast, and the 21-speaker system turns the cabin into something a lot closer to a concert hall than a school-run vehicle. 5-star Euro NCAP with over 90% scores for adult and child protection. Adaptive cruise, automatic emergency braking, lane keeping, cross-traffic alert, all standard. For families doing long interprovincial drives or US road trips, the Zeekr 7X changes the entire equation. Less waiting, more driving. Number 6 carries that same 800-volt speed, but pairs it with software doing things no other family SUV currently dares to attempt. Number 6, the XPeng G6. XPeng calls the G6 an ultra-smart coupe SUV, and for once, the marketing actually matches the product. 800 volts, up to 510 kilometers of WLTP range, 12 minutes from 10 to 80%, and an all-wheel drive performance version producing 358 kilowatts that hits 100 kilometers per hour in just over 4 seconds. Here is the part that changes daily family life, though. The voice assistant picks up commands from any of the 4 seating zones, even with no internet connection. So when you are on the 401 in rush hour and the 8-year-old in the back wants the temperature adjusted and the 9-year-old wants a different song and your partner wants navigation updated, nobody is reaching for anything. You just say it. The car handles it. Automatic lane changes on multi-lane highways, intelligent parking, smooth traffic management during the crawl into downtown, all handled by XPeng's full driver assistance stack. Over-the-air updates mean the car keeps getting better in your driveway without a dealer visit. The coupe roofline looks athletic from outside, but the flat floor and long wheelbase keep rear legroom genuinely comfortable for adults on longer drives. The boot loads almost completely flat when the seats fold, which makes getting a stroller in and out genuinely simple. The floating center console frees up extra storage underneath for bags and tablets. Panoramic glass roof, multicolor ambient lighting, and high-quality materials throughout mean longer trips feel like premium travel rather than a chore. The G6 is aimed directly at families who look at a Tesla Model Y and want something sharper, smarter, and better equipped. Number 5 takes a completely different approach and builds a plug-in hybrid with more electric range than some full EVs currently on sale. Number 5, the Lynk & Co 08. 200 kilometers of pure electric range. In a plug-in hybrid, the Lynk & Co 08 changes what a PHEV family SUV is supposed to be so completely that every other plug-in hybrid in Canada starts looking like a first draft. Imagine your family never stops at a petrol station for the entire month of September because every single weekday trip, school runs, hockey practice, grocery store is done entirely on electricity. Then on the long weekend you drive from Ottawa to Quebec City, stop once for 33 minutes while everyone eats, and the battery is back to 80%. Factor in a full tank and total combined range stretches past 1,000 kilometers. WLTP weighted fuel consumption starts below 1 liter per 100 kilometers. When you charge regularly, your fuel bill at the end of the month will make you want to show it to someone. The most powerful versions clear 500 horsepower, with electric motors doing the actual driving and the petrol engine operating as a generator when the battery runs down. The interior is calm and considered. Clean lines, ambient lighting, sustainable materials, a large central screen, flat rear floor giving comfortable middle seat access for the third passenger in row 2. The boot handles strollers and suitcases easily because the platform was designed from scratch, without the battery eating into cargo space the way older converted platforms do. For families sitting on the fence about going fully electric, the 08 is the most rational car on this entire list. Number 4 is far less rational. It has 5 screens, a ceiling-mounted cinema, and more than 1,400 kilometers of total range. Number 4, the Li Auto L9. 5 screens, one mounted on the ceiling that folds down like a private cinema for rear passengers. That is the feature that gets people talking, but it is barely scratching the surface of what the Li Auto L9 actually is. Think about driving from Vancouver to Kelowna with 2 kids in the back. They are on the ceiling screen watching movies in surround sound. You have not heard a single complaint since Hope. The seats behind you are heated, cooled, and gently massaging. When you stop for dinner and get back in the car, the kids are asleep. You activate sleep mode from the front, the lights dim, the seats recline fully, and the back of the L9 becomes a proper sleeping zone for the rest of the drive. That is not a concept. That is a production car feature you can have today. Over 5.2 meters long, 3 rows with genuine space in all of them, 443 horsepower from dual motors, and 0 to 60 in just over 5 seconds. Extended range electric setup gives you 280 kilometers of pure EV driving before the onboard generator takes over, bringing total range to over 1,400 kilometers on a single tank and charge. There is no version of a Canadian road trip that makes range anxiety a real concern here. Leather throughout, panoramic sunroof, the panoramic ceiling screen, heated, cooled, and massaging seats across every row, and a cabin so well insulated from road noise that highway cruising feels detached from the outside world entirely. Li Auto sold close to 86,000 units of the L9 in a single year. That number does not need a review attached to it. And number 3 brings 880 horsepower to the family car conversation. Number 3, the Leopard 7, 880 horsepower. A 1.5-liter turbocharged engine paired with powerful electric motors producing over 1,000 Newton-meters of torque, 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds, in a full-size family SUV built for off-road capability, 7 seats, and a projected starting price between $55,000 and $70,000. Less than a base BMW X5, less than half the price of a Mercedes G-Wagon. Picture this. Your family is driving through the Rocky Mountains on a long weekend. The road turns to gravel outside Jasper, then to something muddier and less defined as you push toward the campsite you actually want, rather than the one closest to the highway. The Leopard 7 does not hesitate. Multiple terrain modes, a transparent chassis view showing what the wheels are doing below the car, multiple differential locks, and serious ground clearance keep it composed and confident, while the kids in the back are absolutely oblivious because the Napa leather seats are massaging them and the premium audio system has not missed a beat. The interior is legitimately luxurious. Alcantara accents, real metal trim, a full multi-screen cockpit, a dedicated passenger display, and rear passenger legroom that borders on limousine territory. The boot is enormous even with 7 seats in place, and when you fold the second and third rows, you are loading camping gear, bikes, and everything else without any creative stacking required. PHEV total range hits serious figures, meaning remote area driving in British Columbia or across the American West is just a route you plan and drive, rather than a logistics exercise. Level 2 Plus driver assistance manages highway cruising comfortably. This is a car that makes established luxury brands look simultaneously overpriced and under-equipped. Number 2 takes none of that energy and goes in the opposite direction by doing everything quietly and perfectly at once. Number 2, the Denza N9. The Denza N9 does not arrive with one outrageous headline feature. It arrives with everything done correctly at the same time. That is a harder thing to achieve than any single party trick, and the N9 pulls it off in a way that makes larger, more expensive European alternatives feel like they are still catching up. 3 rows, 2+2+2 layout. Every single one of the 6 passengers gets their own seat. Not a shared bench position, their own dedicated seat with heating, cooling, and massage. For a Canadian family doing a long weekend drive to Muskoka with grandparents in the 3rd row, that last detail changes the entire trip. The sound system is tuned specifically for long road trips, filling the cabin evenly rather than favoring the front. Ambient lighting flows the full cabin length. Rear entertainment screens mean the middle row and back row both have their own experience, completely separate from whoever is navigating up front. Pure electric setup produces over 700 horsepower. Plug-in hybrid version pairs a turbocharged engine with dual electric motors for a combined range of up to 1,300 kilometers. Air suspension and adaptive dampers absorb every surface variation, so the ride quality in the back, where grandparents and kids are sitting, stays smooth and completely composed, whether you are on a freshly paved highway or a rough rural road outside cottage country. One of the most advanced driver assistance systems in the segment manages the tedious parts of the drive so the front seats stay relaxed. The N9 is restrained compared to others on this list. That is its strength. Not every family needs to announce itself. Sometimes the most impressive car in the parking lot is the one that simply outperforms everything around it without making a scene about it. And number 1 does not outperform the competition on power or range or screen count. It beats them all by removing the one thing every other electric car on this list still makes you manage. Number 1, the NIO ES8. 3 minutes. You pull into a NIO power swap station, the platform lifts the car, the depleted battery slides out, a fully charged one locks back in, and you drive away. Not charging, swapping. Like a pit stop. 3 minutes. That idea, more than any horsepower figure or screen size, is what puts the ES8 at the top of this list. Think about a long weekend with kids in the car. Every time range drops, the mood in the car shifts with it. You start calculating, adjusting the route, watching the battery percentage like it owes you money. The NIO ES8 removes that entirely. 3 minutes and you are back on the road with a full pack. If NIO expands its swap network across Canada and the US the way it has in Europe and China, this car changes what family EV ownership actually feels like in everyday life. But the ES8 is not a one-trick vehicle. Dual electric motors produce 643 horsepower. 0 to 60 takes 4.1 seconds. Real-world range falls between 310 and 370 miles, depending on which battery pack you select. And here is something no other car on this list can say. You can upgrade your battery pack as NIO releases newer technology. You are not buying a fixed product. You are buying into a platform that improves while you own it. The design is clean and confident. Slim X-Bar LED running lights across the front, flush door handles, a flowing roofline, full-width tail light bar. 6 or 7 seat layouts available, with leather and wood accents throughout. The front passenger seat reclines completely flat with an extending leg rest, so on a long overnight drive, your partner can actually stretch out and sleep properly while you handle the highway. And then there is Nomi, a small AI assistant pod built into the dashboard that physically rotates toward you when you speak. It manages climate, navigation, music, and mood settings with a personality that makes the car feel genuinely alive rather than just responsive. When your 6-year-old tells Nomi to make the cabin feel cozy and the lights dim and the temperature adjusts and soft music comes on, you stop thinking about whether you made the right car choice. You already know you did. These cars are built, priced to hurt, and already moving into markets that assumed China was still years behind. The gap is real. It is wide, and it is closing faster than anyone expected. Subscribe, because the next list already makes this one look tame. Drop your favorite in the comments. I will see you in the next one.